Action. Good morning. We out here in lovely Bermuda at Belmont Hills Country Club. I just love to play out here. So does Mr. Lightbourne. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
Yeah, so this is Kyle Lightbourne, the coach of the Bermuda national football team. How long you been doing that?
About 4 years now.
About 4 years?
Yeah,
you like any results you guys get so far?
Yeah, we're getting some mixed results. We surprise people here and there.
Okay.
International football's stop and go. So when you're on a good streak, you want to keep it going, and when you stop, sometimes players, come back in a different mindset. So that's the difficulty of being international football.
Definitely, can't agree more. So everybody in here in Bermuda obviously would know you, but most of our following is from the Caribbean itself. So tell us a little bit more about Kyle Lightbourne. What got you into football? What's your passion about football? Where did it start?
Well, it started in Bermuda, playing in neighborhood football, school. I went to Purvis Primary and Ward Secondary, and played for PHC, Pembroke Hamilton Club.
Yep. That's the Zebras, right?
Yeah, PHC Zebras.
I know the Bermuda thing.
Yeah. So that's where it started for me, just really playing backyard football. I didn't play a lot at youth level. My grandmother had me doing Adventist church, so Saturday mornings when the games were happening, I was off to church, which was a good thing.
So you see sacrifices can be made and turn out in the end.
Yeah, started playing school, and when you got to the age of about 14, started playing more for PHC, and I played cricket as well. So most people in Bermuda back then, we would play football and cricket.
Barbados too.
Yeah, so similar sort of upbringing. We play in the streets, and we, learn our skills from there. But I always had more of a passion for football. I actually, at the age of 18, myself and a gentleman, Dean Miners, who is a school teacher here in Bermuda, former cup match player, we went to Australia to represent the ICC in cricket. Yeah. So what was it? The Youth World Cup in cricket that just happened in the West Indies not too long ago. So we took part in that in '88. ICC had a team, so it was made up of all the rest of the affiliates that were not Test nations. So played with a lot of good players that ended up making a good career out of it. I had the opportunity then. So that was in Australia in '88, and we done quite well to get there. The players that were selected. The captain of our team was a gentleman, Trevor Penny. I think his name might be well known around cricket. He was an excellent fielder, played for Warwickshire. So him and myself, I think we both got offered chances to go to different county teams in the UK, but I wasn't interested in it.
Yeah.
I always said I wanted to play football.
Play football, right? That's the thing.
A couple years later, I ended up going to England to play football, play for a team called Scarborough.
Okay, nice. Scarborough. That's a big place. I support Scarborough back in Barbados. Okay. It's a nice community in Barbados. Big up Scarborough all the time.
Scarborough Football Club was a small little club, and then I moved on to Walsall. I was there for Scarborough for 6 months, and then I moved to Walsall. I was there for 4 years.
This is what, semi-pro football, professional football.
England, yeah, it was back then. The leagues were set up League 1, 2, 3, 4. They didn't have the Premier League at that point. And then the Premier League came in the early 90s.
Gotcha.
So like 92 or something like that, 93. Can't remember the exact year. I moved to Walsall, had a successful spell there, and then I moved to Coventry, who was in the Premier League at that time.
Nice.
Was there for a year at Coventry, and then I moved to Stoke City, and had 3.5 years, 4 years there. Started off a little rocky, and then enjoyed my time in the end at Stoke. We ended up winning a match at Wembley against Bristol City. Then I finished my footballing career in England, playing for a team called Macclesfield Town.
Okay.
So, similar size club as Scarborough when I started, and I had 2 seasons there. Was a senior player by then. I finished at the age of I was in my 35th year. So I was well pleased from coming from Bermuda to go to England and play football. So
Yeah.
Opportunity just came from out of nowhere, and I was able to take it.
So what really got you, so you mentioned you were out here playing football, high school football. What was the real step that took you from, being good in Bermuda to being good on a European stage and playing in England? What was that step?
Yeah, the biggest thing when I first went to England was listening to the senior players that were around. They could see that you have the ability, but amateur football and professional football is all about your fitness. And amateurs fitness is a lot lower than the professionals because they're doing it every day, and it takes time to get your body up to that level. And once I was able to get my body and my fitness up to that level, and even your strength that you need, your running endurance, everything, just holding people off the ball is a difference from amateur football.
Yeah.
And once I came up to speed with that, so it didn't really happen until, I would say, a year and a half after being in England, finding my feet. And thanks to the coaches for having the,
Patience.
foresight, the patience to allow you to grow.
Yep.
Because football's a ruthless, professional sports are
definitely.
ruthless.
They are
ruthless game.
cutthroat. It's just the best of the best.
Yes,
You
they're always looking for
think.
someone better than you.
I've always heard a good comparison. It goes like professional athletes are obviously like the Lambos of cars, and normally in society a Lambo can beat anybody. But then when you're out there racing with other Lambos, you got to be fully functioning well at all times.
Yeah, for sure. But,
Yeah.
and at the end of my career, I was at, like I said, Macclesfield Town. One of the reasons I went to play for them was a good friend of mine, Kevin Keane, who was starting his journey in coaching. So we started doing a little bit of coaching with taking the warm-ups, and as a senior player, just taking more of a responsibility. And I started to enjoy it, so I done my coaching badge, and just moved on from there. Moved back to Bermuda, it was 2004, and coached the national team back then for 2 years or so. We were making strides, and then I moved away from that position for about 4 or 5 years or more. Maybe even longer, and coached my home team, PHC. We had a semi-professional team here in Bermuda called the Bermuda Hogs that was set up by Sean Goda, gentleman Paul Scope, and myself, and that helped our league to grow, our players to grow, because we were playing against semi-professional teams in the United States.
Yeah.
So that helped.
Yeah, so the level of football just rose.
Yes. In Bermuda. We needed something like that to help our players to grow, for them to see a different side of football. We took a lot of licks.
Obviously, yeah.
It was a learning experience for everyone involved. Unfortunately, with the way things changed, the recessions hit, and a lot of the sponsors that we had that were very good sponsors, they just couldn't afford to keep putting money into the program. So eventually, it wound up by players that are now playing professional football, like big one, Nicky Rouse.
Yeah,
he played for the Bermuda Hogs at early stages in his career.
Yep.
So, and it helped players get an opportunity to go away to university or play in different leagues around the world. So that was always our aim.
Yeah.
And my love for the game, I've always wanted to give back to the players that are here in Bermuda, striving to become professionals or whatever they want to do in life. Football is just one
outlet,
that they can use. Especially at amateur level, you tend to finish a lot earlier than people that is in the professional game.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So. Yeah, good. Just want to shout out Bermuda again. Bermuda has a ridiculously high amount of people playing professional football for the size and population of this country. They're beating many of the Caribbean countries that are bigger than them. So for that, just have to commend you, the head of the team, and the players themselves. Big up Bermuda all the time, right? Action, morning. We out here at beautiful Belmont Hills Country Club in sunny Bermuda. We out here with Kyle Lightbourne, the national team head coach of football. How you doing, sir?
I'm all right. How you doing?
I'm good, man.
Yeah.
I'm good. So what's the biggest inspiration or motivation for you along this journey? Well, obviously you're doing great work, the Lord's work, helping the youth of this country, but what's the motivation? What really drives you to do it every day?
What drives me is the passion of the game, like football, what it has given myself and others that have made it from this country, like Clyde Bass, he was a pioneer for us. You see Sean Goda, we played together as youngsters, and I know the opportunities that we received playing, and someone else just getting that opportunity to play at that level, or even if they don't play at that level, for us as a country to be on that high stage and do well. That drives me on personally.
Shout out some of the great players right now. Naki Wells, big up yourself. Shout out Jonte Smith, big up yourself. You want to big up anybody else?
Yeah, we got Zico Lewis. We have Dale Eve, who's away. Roger Lee, Reggie Lamb, Billy Clemens. We got a lot of players overseas that are, and a lot of youngsters that are in academies that are looking to break through into professional teams overseas, some big teams.
Yeah, as we discussed earlier, Bermuda kills it in terms of size and population wise. Like the sheer amount of footballers that y'all produce on the world stage is very commendable. So we're commending you again as the national team coach and everybody else involved in all of their journeys, because they're killing it right now. So big up Bermuda again. You got any advice for a 12 or 13-year-old boy that's doing well right now and really wants to, he's gonna have to put his head down to the ground and grind now for these next couple of years? You got any advice for him?
Yeah, I have advice.
Or her? Sorry.
for anyone that in whatever walk of life, it doesn't have to be sports. It doesn't have to be football. If you want to do it, you have to go ahead and put your mind to it and do it. You have to put the work in. You just can't show up on the day. You have to be able to want it and make sacrifices. That's the biggest thing for anyone, to make sacrifices and have that never say die attitude.
Makes sense.
Not every day is going to be a great day, so you're going to need to dig in when things are rough.
Gotcha. Yeah, those are great fighting words everybody can get behind. So, last thing, we know your congratulations again on everything Bermuda is doing in terms of football. Absolutely destroyed Barbados in football last time we played, but we can try to move past that one. What, you have any things that you're very passionate about besides football? What else are you working on?
Yeah, I'm passionate about golf. I love golf. Play a lot of golf. And I'm also passionate about seeing people grow. People that's come in at a younger age and see them grow and make it in what they're trying to do. So for me, being the under-20 coach at one point, seeing some of our players move on to the next level of their career is very satisfying.
Well said. Well, sorry for taking you some time out of your golfing day. We know you're an avid golfer. 3 handicap. We're 3 handicap too, so we gotta play sometime, right? Big up Kyle Lightbourne, the whole of the Bermuda Football Association. All footballers everywhere. Big up yourselves.
Take care.